Well, hi guys. It's Sunday, December 28th, I believe, or the 9th. I forget. It started raining last night, as you can tell. But I wanted to talk about this Oliver a little bit. There's things about it that are a little odd to me. And by that I mean things that just don't really make a lot of sense. And by that I mean a tractor this age, being 50 years old, normally you don't find them like this. You know, this is completely a complete original tractor. Not been painted, not been had anything done to it other than run. It's really hard to find a tractor like this nowadays. But some of the odd things about this tractor is that it is so straight and original, and normally when you see a tractor like this, they've been taken care of. But this one shows a sign of, yes, it was taken care of, but it was neglected. And by that I mean filters not being changed, simple little maintenance things not being done. You know, when I went and looked at this tractor, I already had pretty well made up my mind to buy it. They are hard to find. And for the price, I took a chance on it. I went with my gut feeling, you might say. Now, whether that's right or wrong, I won't know till I start using it, if it's a good one or not. I knew it was going to need some work and it needed some things done to it, but more than anything, what it needs are the normal maintenance things performed on it. Oil changes, filter changes, greased and oiled, things adjusted. The only real two surprises were this fuel tank being bad, and that's one that was, that was out of the blue. And that cradle for the drawbar being broke, because I looked at it specifically. But so far I've put a used alternator on it that was off my 1550, and I know it's good because the only reason it got changed, it wasn't heavy enough to put out enough juice to run an air planer. So I know it was good. So alternator I had, bought a new fan belt, new primary fuel filter, new engine oil filter and oil. I've got a new filter for the hydra-power and oil for that, transmission filter, and the hydraulic filter. The transmission and the hydra-power have not been changed yet. In the spring when it warms up, I want to drain that hydra-power and fill it full of diesel fuel and let it sit overnight. And then drain that out and let it drip drain for a couple of days, a day at least. And then put the new filter on, put new oil in it, start it up and run it. The hydra-power right now is iffy. But I think doing this could solve the problem. It's a 50-50 shot. You know, it might work, it might not, but it's worth taking a chance to try. Transmission filter, I just checked the oil in the rear end and it's full and it's fairly clean, so that's kind of a no-brainer. I can go ahead and change that filter at any time. Like any tractor, I knew things going in. I was going to spend a little bit of money on it. Seat is shot. A 50-year-old tractor, you're going to replace the seat. So that's not really that big of a deal. Light switch needs to be replaced. Again, not that big of a deal. I'm still debating whether I'm going to put that cab back on it. If I do, more than likely I'll put a new top on it because the top is pretty rough. I don't have any of the glass for the cab. I don't have doors. It'll be something just to get in out of the sun, which at my age is probably a good idea. But for the money, I couldn't pass this one up. Yes, the tires are shot. I mean, I knew that going in. But when you can buy one cheap enough, you can take that chance. Better move you back. Reset you here a little bit. Don't want the camera wet. But it's in the, yes, I can do that. That's easy, you know, that's not that hard. If I replace these front tires, more than likely I'm going to a 9.5 15 because I want the width. Narrow front tires, with especially on an 1850, there's a lot of weight up front. So you need something to help hold that up. So those 9.5 15s, 3 ribs will do that. Back tires, I've located a set. They're used, but they're pretty good. And more than likely I'm going to make the trip to go get them. It's kind of in that, oh, you know, you got to have them. I'm not buying new tires, not at $800 to $1,000 a piece. When I can buy a set good used for $500 that are 80-85% tread. I don't run up and down the road, so I'm not going to have to worry about wearing them out. Money-wise in this tractor, new seat, new light switch, if I replaced all the lights, replacing the fuel tank, new front tires, back tires were bought and replaced. I still got less than $4,000 in it. So, you know, hey, it's, I'll take a chance. This is how I make money and do things as a small farmer. Most guys won't do this. They want to buy one ready to go, and if you've got the money to do that, that's fine. Me being small, money is always an issue. There's never enough money. Never. So, you get the opportunity to buy a tractor like this for what I gave for it and what I'm going to have in it once I'm done. To me, it's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. It's you know, it makes a cheap tractor. But I have, you know, this is not the first 1850 we've owned. To the point, there's an 1850 manual and operator's manual, plus a complete service guide from Oliver. So I know these tractors. I have books for it. And that's something I have for all the tractors. I have books for everything. Combines, tractors, a lot of the equipment. There's a book for it. I want it. But guys, you know, I've got some work to do to this. Change all the hoses, radiator hoses, heat the coolant hoses, run them back and forth, that kind of stuff. New hydraulic ends to put on it. And I'm going to put the other set of remotes on it. So it's, when I get done, it'll be a good, solid, good looking tractor, good rubber, runs good, and everything works on it. And I've saved money doing it. And this is why I do this stuff. When I get done with this tractor, I'll know it front to back, because I've been through it. I know what to expect, what to look for. So it's not really that big of a deal to me to work on these. I know some people say I'm crazy for doing this, but this is what I prefer to do. I look for that diamond in the rough. That's half the fun of looking for a tractor to me, and why it's taken me 20 years to find it. There are 1850s for sale, but I'm not willing to give $6,000, $7,000 for one, knowing that I'm going to have to do the same thing to it that I'm doing to this. So I patiently bided my time. This came up. I went and looked at it. I bought it. And I'm glad I did. Also kind of tickled it's a narrow front. That's something you just don't see anymore. So that was kind of an added bonus, you might say. But guys, I'm going to get out of the rain. I just kind of wanted to touch base on this, where it's at. It's pretty well getting back in shape now. The hard stuff is done. Now it's, you know, just change some oil and some filters, and, you know, going to replace the muffler probably. That one is cruddy as it can be inside, and I know why. It's a 354 Perkins, and if you allow these engines to just run and not be worked, they will slobber. It's just the nature of the engine. I have no idea exactly how many hours are on this engine, because I do not think it's the original engine to this tractor. I think this is an engine out of the combine. Tractors take 8 quarts, combine takes 10. Took 10 quarts to fill this thing back up. That's the first indication. Second is all the red paint underneath of it, the green. And in 65s, there was no red paint or red primer used on all retractors or engines. They were using, it was a yellow primer underneath of it. And that's why I say I'm thinking this could be a newer engine. And I've looked up this serial number stamp right here, and I still haven't found a year of manufacturing, but the head that's on this is telling me 70s. 74, 75, somewhere in that. So it would definitely not be an original engine. Guys, I'm going to call it a day. I've got done what I wanted to do, the checks I wanted to do to this today, so time to get in and out of the rain. So we'll see you next time, and as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Even on a rainy day, there are things I'm going to do. So we'll see you next time.